¿Cómo se vive sabiendo que tu padre es un asesino caníbal que acaba con la vida de la gente para comérsela?
My name is Jamie Lee. I'm the daughter of a famous killer.
Creí que esa era la pregunta más interesante que nuestra invitada de hoy, Jamie Lee Arrow, iba a responder, pero me equivoqué. Lo que más me impresionó de conocerla y lo que más aterrador me resultó es lo que tuvo que pasar después, cuando su padre ya estaba en el hospital psiquiátrico. Cómo intentó manipularla para que se entregara al diablo, cómo le enseñó rituales, intentó convencerla de que ella también podía ver a los demonios. Me di cuenta de que esto no es solo la historia de un asesinato, es la historia de una hija luchando por intentar no convertirse en aquello que más teme, que al final es su padre. O sea, esta entrevista es única porque te muestra sin ningún tipo de adornos hasta dónde puede llegar el mal, cuando el mal no es algo que ves en las películas y que temes y que después de ver una peli de terror tienes pesadillas, sino que el mal está en tu familia. ¿Y cómo sobrevives a eso?
Tenía la duda. Un podcast de Judith Tiral.
Jamie, thank you so much for coming to Tenía la duda. I really appreciate that you are here now sitting with me and talking about this moment of your life that it was actually not easy.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
it's really nice to be here.
If you want, what I always do with everybody that comes here to the podcast is that we go to the past. How was your life when you were small? How did your mom meet your dad? Was he different by then?
So my mum met my dad when she was 16, I think. He was at this care home because he was very rebellious and a bit criminal, like early in life. So he was like under this care in the same city as my mum, where she lived. So that's where they met. He was criminal and he was drinking, doing drugs, and my mum could tell that he was going to be trouble, but she was very in love with him, so she wanted to help him.
Can I ask, why do you think your mom fell in love with him? Like, was he nicer when they were younger and then he kept like getting worse, or?
My dad is a very charming person. Like, he's very funny and he was like a ladies' man. Like, he could get any girl he wanted. He was just very charming, and I think that most girls would fall in love with him back then, honestly. So he was funny, and they enjoyed each other's company at first. But then, he just started partying all the time and ignored my mum. But my mum was very, very in love with him, so she put up with a lot. So when I was 3, I started seeing my dad on a regular basis again. She didn't really want to let me go there, but they had shared custody, so she had to, because she didn't have a choice. But she didn't know how bad it was at my dad's and how bad he was. And she didn't find out until many years later.
How was everything at your dad's place?
So my dad moved around a lot. So he moved from flat to flat, and he never stayed in one spot very long. He didn't have real beds, and he had these blow-up mattresses, with air in them. He had pictures of the devil and really weird stuff all over the flat. I would describe it as walking into my dad's flat was like walking into a horror movie, actually.
So, and your mom, I guess, she never managed to see those houses or anything, right?
I do think she often left me at the parking lot. I think sometimes she actually saw the flat, but she just thought, okay, that's his style, She didn't think anything of it. He had always had, even when they were together, my dad paints, so he usually paints pictures of the devil and demons and everything, so she was used to it. He always used to hang up really creepy, paintings and pictures on the walls, so that wasn't something new to her.
Do you think by then he was already having mental problems, or he was just a complicated person because of what he had been through when he was a kid?
No, he was very troubled. It was my dad had 2 personalities, so he was 2 people in one person, because he could go from being this really funny, dad that really like made me laugh all the time, to from nowhere he became like this monster that didn't have any like empathy or love for me. Yeah, it was very scary. It was very unpredictable because I could do something that would usually make him laugh, but the next time I did it, it made him lose his mind. And his eyes turned black, and he often had to leave the house or leave the room because it was like if he didn't do that, he would really hurt me. So it was like he was looking at me often and shouting at me, and then he would be like 1 second away from like doing something horrible to me. I think he knew what he was capable of.
The girls that he was dating, they were normal, I mean, or they were also into these like evil things, or like
most girls he dated was actually quite normal. I remember when he had girlfriends, they always seemed very careful around him, like they didn't want to upset him, and they were very shy. And often when he had scared me, and I went to another room like crying, he would ask one of his girls to like go comfort Jamie, like I can't stand seeing her, you go comfort her. And then this random strange girl would come sit on my bed and like try to calm me down, and it was like, yeah.
Where did he meet Helle?
They met at a mental institution. First they were just like seeing each other as friends, and I remember the first time I saw her and he told me like, we are friends, we're not going to be together, this is like the last time you see her. And that made me so sad because I really liked her. She was so beautiful, she was so fierce, and she was not scared of him. She like made jokes about him, and she was laughing with me, and she was so different from the other girls that he had been dating before.
Those years when they were together, did your dad change? Like stop being maybe so dark, or?
No, it got worse.
Worse?
Yeah, a lot worse. He used to be dark and like angry before that, but when they got together, it was like every time I went to him, it was like living a horror movie, a thriller. Yeah, it was horrible. It was very scary being around them. It wasn't that much, physical fighting, but what they said and what they did made me feel like someone was going to die, like every time I went there. Helle often said that Isakin is going to kill me. My dad said, I'm going to kill you. And the last time I saw her, she served me food and she said, enjoy this meal because this is the last time I'll ever cook for you because Isakin is going to kill me.
How did they tell you that she was killed, and when? It was just immediately after, or? So
I think it was the week after, or the week after that, when I had stayed at my nan's, and I was supposed to stay there the entire weekend, but my mum came in to pick me up on the Saturday instead, and I could tell that she had been crying a lot. Her eyes were like red, and she was like shaky, like something really horrible had happened. And she sat me down on the bed, and she said, I have something really horrible to tell you, and you're going to be very upset. I remember when she said that, I just went like, no, I don't want to know, don't tell me. And I tried to like run out from the bedroom.
How old were you?
9. Then my mom just like said, Helle is dead, like ripping off a band-aid, because she just had to say it. And when she said that, I think I just panicked and screamed, and just screamed, no, it's not true. I had like a panic attack, I couldn't breathe. Then when I finally had calmed down, My first question was it Dad? She said, yeah. I think when she said that, I always say I always describe it as something broke inside of me. You know, that magic that lives in every kid, like, you know, that spark and that curiosity and hope that just died inside of me, you know. The next day I woke up and I felt nothing. He made my reality very dark from start. He robbed me of my innocence very early in life, yeah. Or one time, or many times, I actually did that. We always slept in the same bed, and I was laying like that, and he was laying behind me. Right before I was going to fall asleep, he went, Jamie, what would you do if you heard me calling from the kitchen now, and it wasn't me laying behind you? Would you turn around?
But what was wrong with you?
And then I was like 6, 7.
Oh, por favor. Yeah, of course, your dad is the person that actually has to be no, monsters don't exist, no, spirits are not real.
But he wanted me to
be scared, no?
Yeah, and to see monsters and to see demons.
What happened to your dad after he killed the woman he was dating?
He got sentenced to mental hospital, psychiatric institution, yeah.
Is he still there?
No, he's basically free now. He's got his own flat. He's got open care, which means he doesn't have to return to the hospital ever again.
What kind of conversations were you having with your mom, with your grandma, your classmates? Did they know? Because it actually became a huge thing, right? So people in your class, maybe they knew, no?
Right after the murder, I wasn't allowed to go to school for a few weeks, and I wasn't allowed to watch TV. I wasn't allowed to go to the shops. I wasn't allowed to listen to the radio.
It was everywhere, right?
It was everywhere. My mum and her wife, put the curtains down because neighbors were walking past looking trying to peek into our house, and so everything just changed from one day to another. My life as I knew it didn't exist anymore. So, but when I did come back to school, it was nobody knew me as Jamie anymore. Everyone saw me as this killer's daughter. And some of my friends weren't allowed to play with me anymore, and kids were coming up to me all the time asking me about my dad, asking me, oh my God, did your dad kill someone? Are your dad gonna kill me? Are you gonna kill me?
What was it like to see your dad again after knowing everything that he had done?
So I remember on the way to him, it was 4-hour drive to my dad and the hospital. I remember sitting there with my mum. So we were sitting there outside this building, and I was shaking because I was so nervous to see him. I didn't know what to expect. But then I saw him, he was walking out from this building down the stairs, and he was so small. He had lost so much weight and he looked so harmless. I just stood up and he ran towards me and hugged me so tight and for so long. He said I can't believe you're here. That was the first time I ever witnessed him crying.
How was the conversation?
I think I stayed there for 2 hours. Not once did he mention the murder or not anything from the past or the murder, anything. He just asked me about school. I asked him what they gave him to eat in there, what he usually did he make any friends, I remember after, when I realized that the visit hours was over, I started crying so much and I did not want to leave, and I just said, Dad, I don't want to leave you again, I don't want to leave you. It was the murder didn't exist anymore. I had forgotten all about it. He seemed so changed, he seemed so calm and so happy, and he was the dad I always wanted him to be.
And the next times, you used to go there a lot, or once a month, or?
I think I went there once a month. So I continued seeing him like supervised. Either my mum or my nan came with me to see him, and when they came, conversations were very normal, and we didn't talk about the murder or anything. But then when I started seeing him by myself, he started like opening up about, you know, the dark stuff. No, but he would he lived in a different universe. Like he doesn't see the things you and I see. He sees other things, and he wanted to invite me to his world. He started changing my brain and to change the way I see myself, my mum, my friends, the world, everything. Every time I went there, it was like a session of brainwashing.
And like what, Jamie? Like everybody's stupid. People are...
No, it was like nothing is real. Like everyone but me and him were illusions. Like he would make me think that my mum was an illusion, like my friends were illusions, and like everything was a game, and he tried to teach me how to manipulate people. It was like he was trying to make me a psychopath, really.
For what?
He wanted it to be me and him against the world. He wanted him to be the center of my universe. And he was. I turned towards everyone but him, and he made my world so incredibly dark, because I thought that everyone was out to get me, because that was what he wanted me to think.
When was the time that, because you kept on going to the hospital and he was trying to manipulate you, make you think like him and everything, when was the time that you were like, actually this is weird, or I'm not feeling good, or this is not feeling right?
So, his words had been my law for so many years. He had been like my God, nearly. Like everything he said I did, and I lived after what he said always. But when he started showing me things that he saw but I didn't see, started like pointing, this is an example, like he pointed at his head and said, can you see the horns that are starting to grow up from my head? And he would ask me to like touch his head to feel the horns, but I couldn't feel any horns. And then I was like started questioning, like, oh my God, is my dad actually insane? And then it was mostly things on his body, like, because he thought that he was like transforming into something else. And that was when I started questioning everything that he said to me.
How old were you then?
I think I was 17.
Was he feeling guilty that he killed, I don't remember how to pronounce it again, Heli?
Yeah.
Was he feeling guilty?
No. I remember the first time he actually told me about the murder. We were sitting down in the visitor's room in the hospital, and we were just talking, as we usually do, about dark stuff. And he just said, so do you want me to walk you through the murder? And I was like, okay. Because I didn't actually know much about the murder, because my dad always said to me, don't read the papers because they are lying anyway. I didn't read any papers, and I didn't read about the murder. So the first time I actually found out about the entire murder was when he told me himself.
When he tells you, what did you think?
He told me, but I think it was the way he told me that really put me off and scared me. Not scared me, but it changed the way I saw him. Because he told me almost with passion how he did it. Like, he didn't even flinch. He told me like he was talking about our masterpiece, and that really disgusted me.
Could he notice that you were actually starting to doubt him and be like, I'm not liking this?
Yeah, so when I was 19, we actually lived together.
Oh, because he was getting out of the mental institution.
Yeah, and my nan got us a flat in the same city as the hospital. So before that, he actually tried to sell my soul to the devil once.
What?
So he had made my world so dark I was feeling so bad that I saw no hope and I wanted to kill myself. So I went to my dad and I said to him, Dad, I want to kill myself. I don't know what to do. If something doesn't change, I'm going to end it. Then he said, okay, so then there is only one solution for you. And if you do this, you will become happy, you will become powerful, and you will get everything you want in life. And at that point, you know, I think I was 17 also. I was very lost. I had been very traumatized. I had been living a very, very hard life. I was very brainwashed by him. And him saying that wasn't weird to me because demons and the devil had been like my normal life since I was born. So I asked him, so what do you want me to do? And he told me about this ritual that he had done himself, where I sold my soul to the devil and the devil would help me. And so it was actually at the mental hospital in the visitor's room. He sat in front of me like this and he told me to close my eyes and to take his hands. And we were actually sitting like this. He said, repeat after me. And then we said these words. It went on for like a minute and it was words to the devil. And he said that those words had just come to him laying down once and they had just popped up in his head. I remember when I was doing it, I just felt sick to my stomach and I felt, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing right now? Why am I doing this? It felt so wrong and I realized I don't want to do this, but it was too late. I felt like there is no turning back now. And then after we had said those words, we just kept holding each other's hands and eyes shut, and he said, you're free now, Jamie, and like, can you see them around us? Can you see the demons surrounding us right now? It's just so sick. And I was sitting there, and I actually started to like sense things around me. He said, they will guide you now, Jamie. They will always be with you, and they will never leave you alone.
That's so fucking scary.
It is scary. And he said, for now, you're not gonna see them, but they will always be there. But soon they will start talking to you. So I went back to my mum's, and I remember just feeling so dizzy, and I could just his words would just keep playing in my mind all the time. Like it was like he was living inside my head. And I just kept looking like this because I was so scared that I would see something. And I was like holding my ears because I didn't want to hear anything, but then I thought they were inside my head instead. And I remember being in her living room that night, and I was just sitting like hugging myself, shaking like this and looking down on the floor and panicking. I couldn't talk. I hadn't talked to my mum all day, and she was like, Jamie, what's wrong? And I was like, I couldn't breathe. Everything was just blurry, and it was like I was underwater. I couldn't even hear her because I had so much panic in my body. And I remember sitting there, and I just felt, oh my God, this is it. This is when I lose my mind. This is when I lose my mind, and I will never be the same again. So I texted my mum to come down because I wanted to say goodbye to her before I lost my mind, and I wouldn't be able to talk to her again. So I texted her and I said, my mum, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mum. I just want to say I love you, goodbye. And it was so dramatic, and I just screamed and I just pulled it was so intense. And my mum just hugged me so tight, and I told her what my dad had done, that he's sold my soul to the devil, and I said, it's too late, Mum, like there is no turning back.
And you told her about what he has done?
Yeah, I told her.
And what did she say?
She was furious. She was so angry. She said, I can't believe he's done that to you, like he's your dad. And she said to me, like, Jamie, you can never be like him. You can never be that darkness because you are love and light.
When were you like, okay, enough, I had enough, I don't want to see you ever again?
I remember that time I wanted him to apologize for something. I think he had been shouting at me through the phone a few days earlier, and I wanted him to apologize for that. And he hates apologizing. That is the worst thing he knows. So when I asked him, he just started laughing at me like I was being silly. And I was like, no, Dad, you really hurt my feelings. Could you please apologize? And we were out in public. And I could tell that he was getting a bit triggered by me. And at that point, I just felt like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna see how far I can take this.
Wow, you were not scared?
No, I wasn't, because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what he was capable of, and if his love for me was unconditional. Like, could he snap at me too, you know, as he did with Helle? Could he go that far with me too? I wanted to know. So I just kept on going, like I wanted to apologize, and he just kept laughing at me, like in the way like I didn't matter, you know, in a very, like he was trying to make fun of me. So I just kept going, and then he snapped. He turned around towards me, and his eyes had turned pitch black, and he just looked at me and went, if you say one more word, you'll see what I'll do. You may think that I got scared, but I got angry. I remember taking the bottle of Coke, and I just smashed it into the wall, and I walked away. But at that point, I just felt so angry, because I knew that my dad were capable of doing the same thing to me, and I wasn't special. I called him the day after and said that I had left and that I won't come back, and he said okay. And then nothing more for 4 years. Like the first 2 years I was cool with it, because I just felt like so good about not having him in my life. But then when I got my kid, you know, you start thinking of your parents and thinking like, what if my son had a grandpa? He didn't have one on his dad's side and not on my side. And you know, you want your kids to have a granddad and grandma and all that. And I started fantasizing, if my dad was good, that my son would have a granddad. Not that I would ever introduce my son to be, you know, you think, what if my dad was...
You're just daydreaming, no?
Yeah, I was just fantasizing, you know. So I actually wrote him a letter 1 year before I saw him, and I told him, in that letter I told him how far I got in my life, and I told him that, you know what, Dad, I'm not what you told me I am. I'm a really like positive and kind person, and I'm not evil, I'm not angry. I'm actually a really bubbly and funny and outgoing person. I'm nothing that you told me I was, and I've got a beautiful son now, and he's love and light, and he will stay love and light. And I also told him, like, you know, Dad, you were also love and light once. You have also been a little Sylvester once. Sylvester is my son. You were also once like him, and I won't ruin him like you got ruined. It was a very emotional letter, but he didn't answer.
And the last question I ask to everybody that come to the podcast, if you could see yourself when you were 9, 10, when you were a kid, and you could say something to you that you have learned through your life, just one advice, one life lesson, what would you say to yourself?
You know, I wouldn't change anything if I could, and I just know, I think I would say to myself that this will be over, like this is going to be over soon, and you are strong enough to take this, even if it doesn't feel that way now.
Wow.
You are strong enough. Now I just want to encourage everyone else on this earth, like everyone that lives in a darkness, everyone that's depressed, that's an addict, that has like shitty parents, like people that hasn't even been exposed to love and light before in their life. You know, we didn't know how to make fire before. Someone invented fire, and we can invent light in our lives. We haven't seen light, we haven't seen love, but we can create it. Everyone can, and that's why I keep sharing this story now. That's why I do what I do, because I want everyone to know that light can always be created, no matter how dark it is.
That is so beautiful. I'm going to leave it there, because if not, I'm going to make it worse. Yeah? I can get more than... Thank you so much, Jim. You really, like everything, and the way you express yourself and share your story and how you change. It's so inspiring, and I can imagine like the young people looking at you and everything there. It's just, you know, when your dad said that he was born to do something big or something, maybe you were born to do something bigger, and it's inspired people, you know. That's what I think. From all that bad things that happen, you are doing something beautiful now. Just thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality. Baby, baby, you are really hurting me. 'Cause every time